All right, you guys, what is going on? This your boy Town Biz. All right, so first of all, shout out to Raymond Ford. Very dominant performance versus Matisse. Um, Great performance by Raymond Ford. Did his thing, no stoppage, but he dominated. So let's get to the topic at hand. All right, so Boots redeems himself probably in many people's eyes by basically going in there and dominating Stanionis from beginning to end. Basically, Stanionis wasn't able to continue going into the seventh round because he took a lot of punishment. He was dropped in the sixth round. Basically, his nose was bleeding very badly, and Boots did an excellent job. Fought primarily from the southpaw stance, and Boots was able to control the pace of the fight. He did pretty much what he wanted. He came forward, even though Stanionis sometimes would try to walk him down. Boots did a very good job of catching and shooting, great counters, and landing great body shots. I knew the body shots were going to be the difference maker in the fight. I knew the body shots would eventually take toll on Stanionis, and I think that would also eventually lead to Boots being able to go upstairs and basically be able to get him up out of there. Boots let his hands go in the fight. Boots, to me, he looked like he was having fun. He knew that he was in the ring with a guy that was overmatched. And Stanionis wasn't even in the same category with Boots. It was a great, dominant performance. So, what's next for Boots? Boots really didn't put any emphasis on who he wanted next, but I think it will be what's going to go on next. I think it'll be a race to see who can get Mario Barrios in the ring between Boots and Brian Norman Jr. So if Brian Norman Jr. can get that fight with Mario Barrios, then in all likelihood we get undisputed. But Boots didn't really make a decision on what his next move is because sometimes Boots talk as if he's uh, looking at 154. Yeah, 154, there's some good fights up there, but we all know the big money fight would be between him and Virgil Ortiz. But I thought Boots, what's up? I thought that Boots did very well for himself. He fought very well. Same problem a little bit, but listen, I'm not gonna over assess his, defense or lack of defense because at the end of the day, his boxing, you're gonna get hit. I think we set the bar too high sometimes with the fact that guys like Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather, it was very hard to land something clean consecutively off of them. But for the most part, I thought his defense was very solid. I think he did great. I thought he did very well, and I thought he made a statement. So now all we got to do now is see what happens next. What's next for Boots? And I like the fact that he didn't guarantee anything because you don't want to say, "Hey, this is going to happen. I want this guy," and then you have basically a fight that falls through. So with that being said, to me, I think it's going to be a race to Mario Barrios. I think whoever comes with the most money will be able to get Mario Barrios in the ring. You might have to what by some people's standards would be you may have to overpay him. But if it's necessary, then by all means. But I was impressed what I saw with Boots. Like I said before, a lot of times people overly assess something. My assessment was he fought great and he looked great. He was only like an hour and some change away from home. So, Atlanta City is uh, close enough to get the people in Philly to come out there and watch him fight. So I thought it was a good performance. I thought that, he bounced back from his last performance. Once again, um, I'm not going to say the sky's the limit out there for Boots, but there's a lot of opportunity out there. Let's see what happens next. Well, I just said he looked. I just said he looked good. Shit. I mean, what more do you want from me? I'm not. I don't have nothing bad to say about his performance. I thought he did a great job. I thought he looked every bit as a can a pound for pound fighter the way a pound for pound fighter should look. Like I said before, the only thing was that he got hit with some counters, but he took those shots well. He took them very well. I don't think Boots was ever bothered by anything that Stanionis threw at him. Boots, whether we want to believe it or not, Boots got a good chin. But the thing is, you still don't want him getting hit with those shots, on a consistent basis. But it was periodically when he got hit with shots. I thought for the most part, I thought his defense was on point. Like I said, he controlled the pace of the fight. He did what he wanted to do, and he executed his game plan very well. And besides, for look at the bright spot for Boots. Boots only got to get on the freeway and drive. I forgot what that freeway is, but Boots is only an hour and some change away from home, depending on what part of Philly he live in. But Philly is a pretty big city. So next up, I'm pretty sure I'll be hearing from Brian Norman Sr. pretty soon. If not, in a couple of hours, I'll probably hear from him about tomorrow. I'll make see can I get Brian Norman Sr. on here. Okay. I may see can I get Brian Norman Sr. on here and see what's his assessment, because I'm pretty sure he saw the fight because they are always uh scoping and watching. Now, according to them, if you've seen the last interview I conducted with Brian Norman Jr., they said that they basically offered Stanionis, and then also Tay Jones said that basically that Eddie Hearn was playing with the money. You know, so they're gonna have to show Brian Norman the money. But with that being said, great performance by Boots. He did his thing. Um, I'm gonna make some phone calls. I'm gonna see can I get Boots on here. If not Boots, I'll try to get somebody from his team on here. Maybe one of the trainers, or maybe maybe the head trainer and Bosey, or Boots himself. But stay tuned. Anyway, it's your boy Town. I'm out.